Good morning. Good morning. That's loud. I have a couple special helpers today. And in case you guys don't know, this is Henry and this is Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you guys say hi?
Hi.
Hi. So they are going to help me with some of my demonstrations I'm going to have today, as soon as I get my notes pulled up. Why don't you guys pick out your favorite crayon? Pick out a crayon, whichever one you want.
Why do you have knives?
Well, pick out a crayon and a thing of tape. So, is that yours?
Yeah.
All right, you got one crayon?
I
And
love
take it.
red.
All right, take that with you and go back to your parents, and they're going to help you wrap your...
Can I have a knife to cut the tape?
No, the tape's got a thing on it. Go ahead and get Mommy and Daddy to help you. And then you're going to come back and help me with some other stuff. While they're doing that, everybody's going to get a crayon today. And this is my crayon. And this crayon represents me and our congregation. And I'm going to strip the outer paper off because I have been stripped bare before God. I got a bunch of little nicks and scars from life, and life has broken me. But God came along, and He put me back together. You're going to wrap your crayon in God's love, which is going to be represented by this tape, okay? So, Kate, take your crayon and wrap it with God's love, which is the tape, okay?
Will I do it too?
Just go, yeah, you got your crayon back there with Daddy, right?
I like to do my
Okay, you go right ahead. He's going to do his own thing. We're going to let it happen. It's all right. So God put me back together and wrapped me in His love. And I'm going to wrap it all where the paper was. You can do your crayon however you want when you get yours. If you have creases in your tape, leave it. Because those are the scars and different, all of us are different, nobody's perfect. So once you wrap yours, then the kids are going to come back and pick it back up afterwards. And then we're going to do something with those after that. So you just got your crayon? This represents me and our congregation. And I'm going to sit it right here, and they're going to bring me their crayons back when they're done with it. And as soon as they're done with theirs, they're going to pass out the rest of the crayons. And we are going to move on to something else until they get that back. And while they are doing that, and when they pass those out, the scripture, Matthew, talks about where two or more are gathered. Where two or more are gathered in His name, it will be done. You got your crayon? I'm going to hold your crayon right here because it's a special crayon, okay? So we're going to put the tape right back here. And you're going to take one of these. And when Sammy's ready, when your brother gets up here, you guys take this back there for your brother too, okay? And y'all are going to pass that out. And here's some more tape just in case we need it, okay? So go back there with Sammy. And y'all are going to pass those out. Can I have your crayon, sir? Thank you. I'm going to sit it right here. It's a special crayon. Go back there and help Sammy.
Why are these here?
I'll tell you in the later. Go back there with Sammy, okay? Go back there with Sammy. I am used to being with youth groups. I have been children's church minister, youth minister, leader, and that's what I've usually done. So I'm treating y'all like a youth group today. I'm going to move on to a different demonstration while they're passing those out and you guys are making your crayons uniquely you. And over the last, I can't tell you over my lifetime how many conversations I've had with different people about why you should go to church. And your church is there to support you. And today I am having problems with my hands, so Rowena's going to come up and support me because I can't do this by myself today. So I am going to show a little demonstration with the pencil. Rowena's going to represent the enemy. And that's one Christian standing alone. Can you break it? Yeah. That's when a Christian stands all by themselves. Now, when you're in a church or you surround yourself by other Christians, We don't need that. And you keep adding and adding more people that pray for you, that stand by you, that help you. When you can't break it yourself, you got somebody else that's going to do it for you. And then something that I haven't used before is these pencils, because you need to make sure that not only do you are surrounded by Christians, you need some strong Christians around you. Anybody remember these pencils? So you need to surround yourself with some strong Christians. Add them to that pile. And the more you add with it, the stronger you're going to be, because you're going to have people around you praying for you. Now try to break it. Try to break it. Can you break it? No. And when you're together, and when you have strong Christians, and don't mistake somebody who is a new believer in faith, that they're not a strong Christian, because some people, unlike me, that takes years to get things, they get it right away and they take off, and their faith is so strong. Just because they're a new Christian doesn't mean that they're not strong in their faith. So as long as we are together, we are stronger, and it's a lot harder to break us. But now, there's always cracks in any congregation and any church. And those cracks are here, and we're going to talk about those cracks later. Because I also have, I've always looked at church. Find my notes. It keeps turning off on me. As I said, I've had multiple conversations with family, with friends about why you should go to church, because a lot of people, I don't want to go to church, there's hypocrites there. They've had church hurts. There's people that gossip in church. I don't want to go to church. Oh, they don't do enough for the community. I don't want to go to church. I get all kind of explanations, and church hurt's a big thing. When they have church hurt, it makes it a lot harder. I've brought people to church. I've had people sit over here by me in the computer and hide because they hadn't been to church in 30 years because they was excommunicated because they got pregnant out of wedlock. And it was the first time, and she sat and cried the whole time she was here with us. Noise may bother you guys. It don't bother me at all when they're being loud. But, yeah, I got you.
Everybody got tape?
Everybody got tape? There's only a few. You're going to have to pass around the tape. Everybody get a crayon? Yep.
I had to pull my easy.
So here, you gave them all out. I'm going to dump these right here. So take that to the back and sit with Mom until we're ready to collect them, okay? Everybody got crayons and stuff? We'll wait a second so that everybody can, here, let me have it. It was for the adults. Take that back and go sit with Sammy or your mom and dad until we're ready to recollect them, okay? Okay. All right, go have a seat. Oh, you can take that. Go have a seat. No, leave those here. I need those. Working together, being together, surrounding yourself by Christians is going to make you stronger in the long run. I personally have done this pencil thing with youth groups, and I myself have grown over the years, because to me churches and surrounding yourself by Christians has always been more of a spiritual support. But your church supports you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically sometimes, and even financially. And he has humbled me and taught me, because 2022, between 2022 and 2023, out of 24 months, I was able to work maybe 9 or 10 months out of that. And I spent 2 months in one long period in the hospital, and I spent, I don't know how many hospital stays during that time due to my health. And because I had surrounded myself, thank you, it's okay, go sit down, go sit down. I surrounded myself with this congregation. I have my friends outside of church that are also Christians. And only working 8 or 9 months, maybe 10 at most, out of 2 years, my bills were paid. I had food to eat, which I couldn't eat food. I was on a pretty much liquid diet at that point because of my digestive issues. And because of this congregation mainly, and like I said, people outside of this church, I got to doctor's appointments, I had food, my bills were paid, and that was the first time since as an adult, had that type of support from my congregation or needed that type of support. And it's definitely something that all of us need to think about and make sure that we are giving that support to others. And I'll give a better example of my support with the church. In 2020, the first time I was hospitalized, and it was the first time that, it was the beginning of February 2020, I was hospitalized. And it was the first time that doctors told me they didn't know if I was going to make it. I had an infection and it had gone septic. And I got out of the hospital the beginning of February, and my house was put in foreclosure because I didn't call them in time after I was late on a payment. And I had 6 weeks to get it out of foreclosure. I did work my butt off. My daughter, when she got income tax, she gave me $3,000 to help with that $10,000 that I needed. Used all my savings and worked my butt off and got it out. And that was the middle of March in 2020. Well, everybody knows what happened April 1st, 2020, right? The world shut down because of COVID. And I lost my full-time job. I still had my part-time job, so I was very thankful. But at that point, my house went into forbearance for a little over a year. I got it out of forbearance, and then it had only been out of forbearance, I think, 3 months when I went into the hospital. Didn't know it was going to be a 2-month stay, and I'd already had 2 previous stays that year in the hospital. And Pastor Mel came up to me, and I could tell she was a little bit uncomfortable asking me about my financial situation, but she did. And I was honest with her, which is probably the first time I've ever been honest when anybody here has asked me about those type of questions, because I'm just a private person, you know, and I do it on my own, and God takes care of me. And he taught me that sometimes you got to let other people take care of you. And that is very hard for me. I'll be very honest with you guys, that's extremely hard for me. I need to move on to my crayons. So we're going to pick up the crayons real quick, guys, as quietly as we can, okay?
Wait. Get your boxes.
I chose the 2 Bible verses I did today because they talk about working together. They talk about where 2 or more are gathered and how a cord of 3 is stronger. Nope, not that one. If you want to take a box, take this one. Go. There you go. Thank you. Just pass the box down and grab the crayons.
Thank you.
I wanted to let them help today because most of the time they sit in the back. Go get those crayons, guys. And they are shushed the whole time. And we don't have a place for them. One day we will. But until we do, these are our 2 little ones that come the most often. And I just wanted to give them an opportunity to participate and feel included, because that's important to feel included. And there's probably everybody in this church at one time or another has not felt included at something. There's a lot of people that go through when they don't feel included, and that's another way we support each other, by including each other. I'm waiting for my crayons. So while we're waiting on those crayons, this is Charlotte and Henry's crayons. And this is going to represent them when we add them to the rest of the crayons. And I want you guys to pray for these crayons, because at this point in time, the world hasn't deeply scarred them or broken them yet. And I am praying that it doesn't happen. So you guys, if you guys could keep the children of this church. I know a lot of people who have grandkids. I have grandkids. There's some that have great-grandkids in here. So please keep these children in your prayers, that this world does not break them like some of us have been broken. I probably don't need your help anymore, because I can't hold them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go take that back. All right. So I want to put them together. Because I can't hold them. And then put a piece of tape around them to hold them together. Yeah. Just put them all together. And I gave you theirs, and here's my crayon. Did everybody get theirs put in? I actually gave myself 2 crayons. I made one last night, so mine could be in there with y'all's. Plus, I want to show you something with my little cardboard I got sitting here. So, I'm going to go ahead and a lot of pain today, but that's good. That's fine. All right. So these are our crayons. And y'all hear that? That is all of our character flaws, our different personalities, our different cultures, because we are a very diverse church. Every church has problems, and every church has turmoil every once in a while and has their foundation shaken. We have too. And if you listen, that's all of those little scars, all those different personalities, all those differences in culture, differences in denominational backgrounds, rubbing up against each other and getting on each other's nerves. It happens everywhere. And the cracks in any church are those here in between, which are those character flaws, those different personalities, just things you disagree with somebody with. And we allow the enemy to use those things to put turmoil in between us all the time. When we have turmoil, usually it's a misunderstanding because we don't understand the person next to us as well as we think we do. Or we haven't realized that maybe that person's right, but I can't see it right now because I'm looking like here instead of looking at the whole picture. So that was the second thing. And I want to ask you not only to pray for those kids, but pray for our church, that God seals all of these cracks, heals the things that need to be healed in each one of us individually so we can work better together as a congregation. I just stepped on somebody's crayon. Just damaged it a little more. I had to get some help because I cannot draw stick figures. But we have Polk County. I was going to do a box and my friend said, oh, I can do that. So here we are in Arvindale, which is pretty much the center of Polk County. We got Lakeland, Bartow, Lake Wells, Davenport, Haines City, Frostproof. And I will tell you from my job, when I come up from Miami, picking up from my lab, when we hit way down here, and my lab is somewhere right in here, it takes an hour just to get there. Polk County is huge. We also have Plant City somewhere over here, and Pinona-Sassa, and that's important because we've helped people in those areas. But this is me and myself trying to go from here and help somebody down here and help somebody down here and trying to help these people all by myself. Now, I have been fortunate enough that I see what we do as a congregation. I have taken more people than I can count, clothing and food and help from this congregation. Now, when I have y'all with me, behind me, and helping me, no, that's not going to work, is it? Do it this way. Go into all these different places and all these different colors. We make a huge difference in our community. There is a huge difference in me trying by myself because for years I have been taking the people over here. They used to live in Polk County, but they moved because of financial situations. And they called me. When we had the government shut down, I got calls after calls. I have friends outside of this church that I do ask for help for. Called them, but I'd say over half of the food that I took for several weeks to single moms with 4 kids, a single dad with 4 kids, I took so much food from this congregation to people who were scared of how they were going to feed their kids. And they even spent some of their own money on food. Well, then the next month was Christmas, and they were Thanksgiving and Christmas. And they had done spend a little bit of their extra money on food, and they were stressing. And let me tell you what, you guys went way above and beyond this year for Christmas presents for these kids. Like, I figured y'all bought 1 or 2 things on that list. Some of y'all bought everything on the list. And I got to do the honor of seeing the relief on these parents' face. I've gotten to see, there was a child that was 13, and he was helping me take in presents. And he happened to grab his own bag of presents, and everything was bought on his list. And he had the biggest smile. He said, "These are for me?" I'm like, "Yes, sir," because he's the only one that knew that it came from a church. But he absolutely, he couldn't believe it. He's like, "Please tell them thank you. Please tell them thank you." And he was just beside himself because he had been told they were going to have a small Christmas that year. Because they had to buy food and things were hard and they didn't know it was going to happen. And y'all are probably wondering why I named it Confidence. So, we're talking about all this stuff. I have confidence in our congregation because I think I see more of what we do in our community. Because people bring me clothes every Sunday. Dana Day Dodge, she's trying to clothe all of Polk County, y'all. Just so y'all know, she is trying to clothe all of Polk County. She fills my car almost every Sunday with stuff for people. I don't know if you guys watch TikTok. Any of y'all on TikTok? So there was a video going around about the time that we had the shutdown and stuff. And it was a video of a woman who was calling churches. And she called a couple hundred churches eventually. But when I watched, I think she was close to 100. And she was calling these churches and she was saying, "I'm a single mom. I have an infant. I need formula. I get paid not tomorrow, but the next day. I just need 24 hours worth of formula. Can your church help me?" She was hung up on, and she videoed this. She was hung up on. She was told that we only help our congregation. We can't help you. I'm sorry, and hung up on her. Over and over, and out of almost 100, there was like 4 or 5 that offered to help. Different denominations. They were all Christian churches. I think she eventually did call some other religions, and some of them helped, some of them didn't. But when this video was going around, people kept sending it to me. And then my coworkers, some acquaintances, different people, "What would your church do? What would your pastor do?" I'm like, "My pastor's going to probably go get it herself and make sure they got formula. She's not going to let that baby go hungry." And I'm like, "But my pastor, I don't even know if she answers the phone." I said, "But it's probably somebody in our council." I said, "But I don't see anybody in our council hanging up on somebody." I said, "Because we do have a food pantry. We do have money for that food pantry to go buy food." I said, or they're going to give them my name, and we're going to make sure that baby doesn't go without. I said, and then one time I even kind of joked. I said, "Well, the pastor's probably going to tell her wife to go get it, and make sure they got that formula." But between that conversation, there was multiple people asking me, "What about your church? They called your church. What are they going to do?" There were other situations before that I was having conversations. And they're like, "Well, would your church participate in that?" I'm like, and it's basically my nonprofit anyways. I'm like, "Yeah, they would." And somebody said, "Wow, you have a lot of confidence in your church." I said, "Yes, I do. Because I see what they do. I know what they do." And I guess today, I just wanted to demonstrate how much we can do together versus by ourselves. I wanted to show you where those flaws are, where our cracks are. And hopefully you will recognize maybe your own character flaws, somebody else's, and just give them more compassion. Give them more understanding when they're working your nerves, because I'm sure I get on multiple people's nerves in here. But, do you guys have confidence in our church, in our congregation? And do you help support our church? And there are multiple ways to help support. Today, because my hands are really hurting, I needed Rowena's support to actually even do this. Because I couldn't break those pencils by myself. I could barely hold them. Touching things today is so painful. And there are multiple ways that you can support our community and support our church other than financial. You know, even if the only thing you can do is pray for those kids, pray for our congregation, and pray for our community, if that's all you can do, that's all you can do. But do it faithfully, do it often. If there are other things that you can do, there are so many things that need to be done that have nothing to do with money in this church, you know. But that's what I wanted to, I hope I got that point across today. And thank y'all for being my youth group, because that's normally how I do these things. So, you know, and they're used to being turmoil and kids running around, so it don't bother them at all. So, but thank you guys for listening, and we can move on.
Amen.